Our guest speaker today is Caroline Dittberner. Caroline last spoke to us, many of you may remember, 4 years ago at our preschool celebration in 2013 when when one of her sons, Tim, became the superintendent. Caroline Dittberner is a proud graduate of the University of Minnesota. She received both her bachelor's and a master's degree from this great university. Caroline taught 28 years in the St. Paul public school system, 23 years as a special education teacher, and 5 years as a second grade teacher. Caroline is a fierce advocate for public education. Since her retirement, she has been involved in the passage of several referendums for the Alexandria School District. She's a strong supporter of the Alexandria Educational Foundation and is still attending school at the Senior College in Alexandria. She is also a volunteer for the Habitat for Humanity and involved in the fight against Alzheimer's. Her family includes 4 children, an attorney, a doctor, a hairstylist, and a superintendent, and 8 grandchildren, with the youngest graduating this next spring from St. John's. Just want to make sure we can hear this next line. Caroline has been characterized as having more energy than PJ Fleck. Please help me in welcoming back to the New Prague Area Schools for the second time, Miss Caroline Dittberner.
Oh, it's nice to be tall.
Make sure you show him your shirt, though.
Okay. Oh, it's kind of warm in here.
For those people that can't see it, it says Superintendent's Mom.
What? Thank you so much. That was kind. Good morning, everyone. To all of you New Prague staff, over 500, you bus drivers, administration, support staff, teachers, lunchroom staff, custodians, just everyone. It's so wonderful that you're all here, all for the children of New Prague. It has been 4 years since I last visited with you, as he said, and much has happened for you since then. You have a new outdoor stadium. Your building program was passed with a huge change to your middle school, and you have a new swimming pool, which I saw last night. Beautiful. So much for which to be grateful. Changes have also been part of my life. I am now 81 years young, and my dear husband of 60 years, Dave, passed away just a month ago after enduring a 5.5-year struggle with Alzheimer's. During this time, I was his primary caregiver, so the loss is very deep to me. But I'm so grateful for my children, one of them, Tim, and my grandchildren who helped me so much during this time. They have been my ultimate support. Dave, my husband, devoted 40 years of his life as teacher and later principal of Gethsemane Lutheran School in Maplewood. Since his passing, I have had the joy of reading countless sympathy and encouragement cards. So much gratitude has been shared by people. People have also donated so generously to 8 charities that we suggested. I had so much money in my house, I couldn't stand it until Alzheimer's came and took some of it. In their cards, former students, parents, and colleagues expressed gratitude for things that Dave had shared with them. even going back 62 years by many of the students. They mentioned things that you all do, things like his patience, his encouragement to students to be the best any student can be, his smile for them, his positive attitude, his ethics and high morals, and the list goes on and on. You can identify with all those because you have them. They appreciated the way he ended his announcements each day, too. Remember, he said, God loves you and so does Mr. D. It has made our family more grateful than ever before to read and know these things. But who do you think really benefits from all that gratitude? That's what we're going to talk about today together. It is understood by researchers that gratitude is the most basic term of being thankful and appreciative for the good things that you have received from someone. And I'm going to repeat that. Gratitude is the most basic term of being thankful and appreciative for the good things that you have received from someone. Research has also shown that the person receiving the thanks is not the major recipient of gratitude, but it is a person who expresses the gratitude. I'm reminded of a telephone conversation that I had with my younger sister, Betty. There are 9 of us children. I'm the oldest. Just last week, she lives in Michigan. And I told her that I was preparing a little message on gratitude. And during our conversation, my sister Betty recounted a time about 10 years ago when she decided to call her former high school teacher in our hometown of Nebraska. She called a Mrs. Redford after searching for her number in the white pages, and Mrs. Redford answered the phone right away. And Betty introduced herself as Mrs. Redford's former student from Hampton, Nebraska, by the name of Betty Clutie. Mrs. Redford recalled the name, after which Betty went on to say that Betty was just calling Mrs. Redford to thank her for being such an amazing teacher and a very important part of her life. Betty went on to say that she appreciated that Mrs. Redford believed in her and expected so much from Betty. And Betty was just calling to thank her for being such a great teacher. But Mrs. Redford shared that she appreciated this call from Betty. She added that this is the very best day because it's also my birthday, and Betty's call was the best birthday gift she could ever be given. Now, I'm sure that Mrs. Redford was grateful, but the real person blessed was my sister Betty, who still thinks of Mrs. Redford's telephone conversation. It gives her great joy just to think about it. Now, why is gratefulness important for children to learn at an early age? After they've been immersed in it, probably at home too, hopefully. We know that. And continue through high school into adult life. And why is talking about gratitude important for you? Well, it's so you can have, the reason is so that you can have the joy in your workplace, and students can have that joy at school. That's why. So here is your challenge to make the year 2017 to 2018 school year to be one of gratitude and have the joy of experiencing it in a new way. Try it. It's going to work. You might be able to do some of these things. Number 1, start noticing things that people are doing for you, just little things, and recognize their efforts and show gratefulness. No matter how small, say thank you. Write a thank you note, email, or Facebook. Number 2, in the upcoming school year, greet your new Prague students first day and every day with a smile when you see them. Notice their return smiles. Some students will realize that your smile is something that makes them happy, and they will be thankful for you and school. They will experience gratitude. Recognize the many positive efforts of students and all staff as they move throughout your school. Thank them. Gratitude will catch on. And in the classroom, number 4, it is fun to keep a gratitude journal or sharing time of gratitude for students and staff. Be creative. You're also good at that. Number 5, as an entire school, you can have projects that help individuals, neighbors, your town, help people that are experiencing difficulty. Be a school that gives from the heart and is grateful. Everyone model gratefulness. Everyone, all the time. It will give you a very positive outlook on life. In conclusion, we know that gratefulness can be taught. Gratefulness, say researchers, originates at our frontal lobe of the brain. Yes, right up there, where decisions are made. From gratefulness comes joy and peace. From gratefulness comes joy and peace. How wonderful. Researchers say that people that are grateful are happier and less materialistic. They don't seek to be in control. This is really good stuff, and it costs nothing. My challenge to you in closing at this very minute, think of someone who has helped you get to this exciting time in your life. A parent, a grandparent, a friend, a neighbor, a teacher, employer. As soon as our time together is over, email that person or message that someone on Facebook and thank them. Or better yet, send them a thank you note. Remember, there are lots of Mr., Mrs., and Miss Redfords out there. Remember to thank them for their contribution to your life. Be grateful. Spread gratefulness. It is so simple. Gratitude is such a wonderful social emotion. It is connecting to others, and it is a key to a very happy life. Have a great year of gratitude, and thank you for your time. Thank you. Thank you.